What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson back once again here from Central North Carolina. Hope you guys are having a great day today. It is Sunday. I'm dressed up, but we're going to do a little bit over here at the Project Iron Cutter Hybrid Bermuda lawn. I was out here the other day while I'm thinking about it. The footage that I recorded, I'm kind of making this one in place of it. Bought a new lawnmower. We'll talk about this more. This is a wider 7-blade American mower, cuts way better. I was putting it away the other day when I was recording my first footage and a wasp got me. So we're gonna have to spray some insecticide over here because it got me in the back of the leg and it did not feel good. Anyways, we're gonna go over here real fast and I want to talk about what I filmed the first time. And I'm not gonna use that footage. I'm just gonna go over it. I've already mowed it today, so I'll show you what it's looking like and what we're possibly gonna try to do real quick that I've been eager and anxious to do on this project lawn. So we are on the iPhone and I am recording this one in 4K because I want to truly capture what this lawn looks like. And on camera, it actually looks a little bit darker green than what I'm looking at in person. So keep that in mind. It's not as dark green as it may look on this iPhone. But this is the first time we've had sun in probably 3 or 4 days. It has been very rainy. We've had tons of rain, so much so I moved turn the timer off and move the sprinkler out of the way. But this is what we're working with, guys. I believe I showed in the last footage, basically I mowed it and that's all we could do. It was so soggy, it's so wet. As you guys know, it's just a brief recap. I did come up here. If you don't know, I put down about 7 more bags of the play sand. They did not have masonry sand up at the local Do It Center. So I did more play sand right here to fill in the areas. Instead of putting the plugs from other areas back into the lawn, I filled in with sand. Here's like some of the holes that I took out plugs. Down here, same thing. I took my plugs right here, boom, 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 and you can already see we got runners that are already jumping over top of that. It looks like it might be common, but anyways, this is already filling in. This was a hole we did some sand on, but I took a lot of plugs right here, and kind of my idea was, hey, I took plugs all the way down here, as you can see, all the way down here in a row, because I was just going to spread all the sand. Well, the sand that I picked up was a little bit wet from the Do It Center because it was outside. These are the plugs that we pulled from here to put in over here, and you should be able to see that if I stand here. You can see all the plugs, this row, this row, this row, and then we kind of came out catty corner over there. So we're expanding a little bit. Hopefully you can see on the edge over here, all of the plugs over here. So my thought was, all the plugs that we got right here, it's sometimes a little hard to see because they are small. They're very small. But we got runners coming out here as well. I've tried to rake and clean this up a little bit, but also hoping these plugs will take off because we do here in North Carolina. I know up through September we'll have plenty of heat going on. With the existing sanding we did before, you can already see it is filling in fast. I was just here 2 days ago and it's already filled in way more than the other day. So it is definitely the sanding that we did, it is filling in. We still have this nasty crabgrass trying to come in, but you can see all the runners on top of this. Remember this big area where we had killed weeds and it was just bare? We put sand here and you can see all the runners coming in and swooping in to fill this in. And I have no doubt within probably a week this will be covered up. It is going extremely hot, and that is with several days this past week where we did not have sunshine at all. Low heat, very cool, lots of rain. So this area, when I showed it in my original footage, you'll see I've had to come back, grab plugs of dirt from over here to actually fill in over here because the rain actually settled it and some of the holes didn't get filled with that wet sand. So it did become an issue. So hopefully you can see that, but off camera, after I filmed that quick review, I did get plugs and put them in. And so we'll monitor this. This is going to probably take a little bit to fill in, but that's why we're going to do what we're going to do today. So back with the normal view, just step back over here. You've got runners all over the place over here. It's looking really good, man. It is so fun to work on this lawn. But as we step back, look how much we've expanded. I mean, look at the massive, let me go back to this view. Let me come back a little bit. There we go. It's a little better, but look at the expansion of these plugs. We started with just several rows of plugs, and we are just, it's thickened up a lot, and it has moved to the left, to the right, and it's got, obviously we've tried to keep cutting it to expand it, and it's just been super fun to play with this. So today we are getting ready to come up on August, so I want to go ahead and I want to put down some more in and continue to feed this thing, to continue to grow, to fill in the sand areas, to fill in the plug areas that we've expanded from, and so that's what we're going to try to do. So I'm not going to be able to film doing the actual laying down of it, but as we walk over here, I'll just talk to you. We're going to try to use my old, very friendly, I said nothing but good things about this Scotch spreader for those that have been around my channel for a while. By the way, you can see where I sprayed all my kills all right here, so I can have a walking path, because we don't have anyone apparently that cuts the grass regularly, but that's another topic. My old Scott's friend right here, the Elite Spreader. So we're going to use Mr. Elite Spreader. I've tested it the best I can. Look at that. Even a wasp has made it a home. Maybe it's the guy that's about what Scott's deserves. When I pull the handle, it is opening as it should. I did have to spray it out, and so I'm going to have to wipe that down. But we're going to be using the GCI 3800G. Sorry about the I might as well pull this out because it's probably the last time we'll look at it. But the 3800G, I will link this in the description if you got Bermuda, want to use it. But basically 2.3 pounds for every 30 days for tees, lawns, all the good stuff. And hopefully this will, if I lay this here, you guys can see it. I don't know if it's focusing correctly or not, but basically 38% nitrogen, 23 of that is urea, 4% ammoniacal nitrogen, 5% water insoluble, and 4.9 other water insoluble nitrogen, plus 7% sulfur. And basically that's it. So, and it does say on here that 10.3% slowly available nitrogen, 11% slowly available nitrogen. So polymer coated on some of these. So it's not a direct 38. It's a more, realistically, it's more like a 25% urea directly into the plant. So that's from GCI Turf. It's in the description if you're interested in 3800G. So I'm going to attempt, I don't have a stand or anything out here at church, but I'm going to attempt to go ahead and throw this down with the Scott spreader. And obviously if it don't go down, I will be coming back on here and complaining. So let me do that real fast as the family waits for me after church to leave. And let's get some pounds on the ground. We're going to do roughly a guesstimate of 2.5 pounds of this stuff in the Scots. So hopefully it can handle it. Let's get it down, and we'll talk about a little bit of a wrap up here in a moment. All right, so we've got it dumped in here. I cannot remember the settings, so if you got a Scots like this, I am just gonna basically unleash and try to do 2 passes. But this is a very fine prilled fertilizer, which is awesome for a spreader like this, because I feel like with the bigger Yard Mastery, Stay Green, they're great fertilizers, right? But the prills are much larger. They get caught in that pull of the spreader, and that's what would cause issues. So this is I've never seen this color, number one, for 3800, but yeah, very fine prills. There's a few like little things in here that are larger, like that little guy right there. I don't know if you can see it compared to the other ones, but a very fine prill. That is something I know Pete wanted, so that it will spread easily, and it does help. So I'm going to go over here and do this, do my best. We'll come back in a moment, but I did want to show you, if you do want to purchase the GCI type granular, it is very fine prill, and it should spread pretty easily in your earthway or whatever spreader you may have. Well, consider me surprised, because it worked flawlessly in the Scots. Now, that's kind of been our history with this this spreader. If you have one, you may say amen, or you might have a completely different view, but today, with those fine prills, worked perfectly fine. So I'm about to spray her down. It's good to have here by the church so that if I do want to put this down, occasionally it will work. If it don't, I have to cover it up, bring my Earthway. That's why the Earthway was purchased, because this thing sometimes, maybe with the bigger Prill fertilizers, gave me a hard time. So it did go down 3800. Obviously, when I did one pass and had a little bit extra, and so I did those on the sandy areas. So hopefully that's our August feeding. The majority of that urea will be taken up soon. It's going to grow like crazy. We're supposed to go back into a little bit of a sunshine pattern, possibly some storms this week, so hopefully it don't get washed away. But anyways, you can see what we're working with over there. Let's go take a last look at it after I clean this off real fast. All right, so fertilizer is up, spreader is now clean. Let me know your thoughts on the video as far as the recording of with an iPhone versus the GoPro, because man, I'm telling you what, looking at this 4K on my iPhone Pro 16 Pro, it looks pretty good. Besides you're sacrificing sound a little bit that I can't directly plug into this. Let me know your thoughts, but regardless of that, comment below. But we've got GCI Fert down on the ground on our plugs. Just did like 2 quick passes and got it all over the place. So hopefully this will, again, boost our plugs to begin growing, expanding as we mow it. But also in the sandy areas where you can see that, like this really cool teal color. So hopefully that pops up there. We do have the little crabgrass right here. Otherwise, weeds, not a ton of weeds in this lawn. A little bit of stuff here and there. Here's some more weeds that we've got right here that I'm not messing with. But again, you can see the sandy area. We are supposed to get some more storms and natural rain this week, which is awesome. So I don't think I'm gonna even set out the sprinkler right now. So we're gonna leave it as is, but comment below. We did a mow this morning. It was relaxing, fun. It's gonna be like 85 today, but it's starting to kind of heat up into the 90s later on this week. So fertilizer down for the month of August, our feeding here. So a guesstimation of around, 2, 3, maybe 3.5 pounds. I don't know. I did my best guesstimation with my eyes. If I'm a little off, I don't think that's going to hurt this at all. So the iron cutter continues to come along, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this brief update. Fert down, mow completed on this Sunday afternoon. You're watching this on a Tuesday, so I will hopefully be getting out here today on Tuesday to mow it once again, and hopefully the fert will get watered in and not washed away. So God bless you guys. Thank you for coming to check out the iron cutter as it continues to expand, and we continue to thicken up and level out a little bit in this lawn. God bless you. We'll see you next time.